Hey guys, TJ from PC Gamer here, and I'd like to show you my Steam library really quick. If we go in here, and I've got it sorted by time played, you should see something fairly interesting. We've got, well, Dragon Age Origins should actually be around 200 because I played it for over 100 hours on a non-Steam copy, and then I rebought the Ultimate Edition because I lost the disc, and because I like Dragon Age Origins a lot. So we've got about 100 hours on that just on Steam. 100 on Mass Effect 2, 157 on Skyrim, 180 in Civilization 5, then, whoa, big jump there. Crusader Kings 2, 267 hours. That is, I'm fairly confident, longer than I've played any non-MMO game in my entire life, and I'd like to tell you why. We talk a lot at PC Gamer about games as storytelling engines, and I honestly think Crusader Kings 2 is the best emergent story generator you can buy on any platform right now. Let's start off being real as I load the game up. It's not the most visually impressive game. You don't have the big, fully rendered battles like you do in Total War and, you know, that kind of stuff. I think that turns a lot of people off immediately, and it's really kind of a shame. The other thing is that it's just really, really complex. I was still finding out about core mechanics I had completely overlooked at 200, 210, 220 hours in. But I think that's part of the beauty of it. You can learn enough to have fun with it in a relatively short amount of time, and you'll keep discovering more and getting better over the course of months. Mastery is something that comes very slowly, but gives you this tremendous sense of accomplishment when you get to the point of, let me load up this game here. Yeah, as you can see, I own pretty much everything. Forming a realm this large and keeping it stable is something that took me over 220 hours of learning to achieve. And I can look at it and say, I worked for this. I experimented, I failed, I improved, I did research, I planned ahead, and this is the end result. And I still have room to grow here. I've seen guys that have turned literally the entire map red by like 100 years earlier than this. Now, every single province on this huge map has a character tied to it. A character with traits, a family, and relationships. It's this whole ecosystem that mimics the way humans interact, even when you're not doing anything to steer it. And all of these great stories come out of that just by the nature of the system. You have, the two ambitious brothers with a claim on the same kingdom who fight for decades, plunging their realm into civil war and eventually dooming it to foreign conquest. You have the spiteful queen who finds out her husband's heir is illegitimate and decides her husband and his bastard both need to die so her true-born child can take the throne. You have the cowardly minor count who gets called into a crusade from some backwater province and proves himself as an amazing military commander who's granted his own fief to govern in the Holy Land. The possibilities are staggering. You can totally derail history too. You can, as you can see here, conquer Europe from Ireland. It's called Empire Britannia, but I started basically as a minor noble in Ireland. One of the things I'm actually proudest about, if we switch to the cultural view here, you'll see Poland has become almost totally Irish. I like to think about, what that looks like in 500 years. You'd have this weird Slavo-Gaelic thing going on. The level of abstraction and the relative visual simplicity of the engine makes it almost like reading a book in some ways. A lot of the story is built up in your head, and the human mind can still create a much more vivid experience than any modern rendering engine. So if you haven't tried Crusader Kings, or if you've jumped in for a couple hours and decided it's too hard, I really encourage you to give it another solid shot, or a solid shot, as the case may be. You can't treat it like most modern games, where it's going to hold your hand and teach you everything you need to know as you go along. It's a journey of discovery, and as you try and fail along the way, you're going to get some amazing narratives out of it if you look at it with the right mindset. It's very much one of those Dwarf Fortress-esque games where failure can be fun. So that's all the Crusader Kings evangelizing I'm going to do today. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see more videos like this one, and check out our website, which is pcgamer.com, if for some reason you didn't know that. Particularly if you want to see an example of what I'm talking about, the Crusader Kings Chronicle I wrote last year gives you a really good idea of how the game goes when you kind of know what you're doing. Looking back on it, I really actually didn't know what I was doing at all. Anyway, thanks for watching. Now I've got to go. My scumbag nephew is trying to fabricate a claim on one of my titles again.